It is noon. Well, all right, 12:01 if you want to be technical about it. 12:01 in the East Coast here. It's Friday. You know what that means. It means small biz breakdown. I'm going to tell you guys right up front. I am not in the greatest of moods. This happens to me whenever the Rams lose on a Thursday night, and they shouldn't have lost. I don't know what I'm about to say to these folks here. I'm sure there's going to be some venomous kind of portions of it. I'm going to try to keep my venom to a minimum, but I just wanted to warn you guys right up front. It's going to be a tough one for me. But I do have some really good, smart, intelligent folks to join me as I always do every Friday. So let me start, as I usually do, with Leland from Oregon. Hey, Leland.
Hey, Brent. Good to be here. I'm sorry to hear about that team. It's a tragic loss.
I just got this brand new hoodie. Was all ready to celebrate.
You showed support and they let you down. But maybe next week.
There's always next week. And there's always Ivana from Magical Medina. Oh, wait a minute. That ain't her. There she is. See, this is what happens when my team loses. I'm all out of sorts. I'm mad. I'm angry. I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm sorry they lost, but I'm coming back from the Steelers being in Dublin, which was so fun to watch.
I was getting ready to say, did you go to Dublin too? Or
I did not go to Dublin. Are you kidding? No, I watched it at home. That's like my new favorite thing. I'm not into the live games.
Oh, okay. You like that? You getting up early in the morning on a Sunday and watching?
We got up early. We had Irish breakfast. We drank beer. We did all the things.
Wait a minute. What's an Irish breakfast?
An Irish breakfast, you're going to have like ham and bacon. So you can put beans on toast, which is typically more British.
You're
right?
going good with the ham on bacon, but when you start talking beans on toast,
you got to do beans on toast. And of course, Irish coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I damn sure don't eat beans on toast, but I'll stick with the ham and the bacon. So, and with my last name, that I should probably be more than that. But anyway, I digress. Not only do I digress, I traverse further east to get to our nation's capital, where absolutely not a damn thing is going on. Literally nothing is going on. But Shashi is still there, and he's still smiling. Hey, Shashi.
Yes. Hi, everybody, especially my Instagram fans.
Not much to say today from our nation's capital there, Shashi.
He's been furloughed.
We didn't get the jobs, so I don't have anything to say.
We got the ADP, but we didn't get the Bureau of Labor Statistics because basically there ain't nothing going on. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving all the way to some kind of capital of the world. I never remember what the capital of the world is, but I'm always glad to have Ramon Ray remind me what it is.
Brent, well, thanks for having me here. And you know what? I'm glad you know my name. That's good enough for me. And I know you're saying it authentically. Exactly, Shashi. But some people pretend they forget. But I'll just say it again, Brent, since you forced me. Hi, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray from New Jersey, the vacation capital of the world. Vacation capital of the world. Said in a little falsetto voice. Brent, good to be here. What's up, Leland? What's up, Ivana? What's up, Shashi? Reminding everybody to secure your businesses as Bit Defenders, small business ambassador. Good to be here.
Damn. And you did that off the top of your head.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's why they pay him.
Oh, and Brent, I will say one more thing. As I said in the chat previously, I don't know if we should wait for the other people to come, but I watched a Halo thingamajiggy, the movie, the video game, which I normally wouldn't watch. I think a lot of it is like fancy computer generated. Most of it or something is like, but I enjoyed it. So I just wanted to add that I can see a world of totally AI movies, AI everything, and I would love every bit of it. That's just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You might want to hold on to that until you do the introductions next time, but that's okay. We're here for your excitement. We like that. We're also here with Monique, all the way from somewhere about 10 minutes from me. I don't know. Somewhere. But we are so glad to have you back.
Hey, Monique.
Hey, everyone. Hi, audience. It's great to be here. That's all I got to say today.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. No, I'm just kidding. And last and certainly least, as I like to say, I don't know if he likes to hear it. I just like saying it. It is the cold one. He's the bold one. I hate to say it, but he is kind of getting to the old one too. But he is John Colder Ice Lawson.
Hold on 1 second. I'm taking a bad call from the Rams. Just 1 yard. 1 yard.
All right, let's keep moving on.
A little salt in that wound.
Wow.
That's all right. There's always a Falcons game on a Sunday, which tends to be pretty salty too.
Which we won.
Yeah,
we did win.
Let's see what happens in next week. We'll see. Anyway, I am really trying to be excited about being here, but a little hard. But I'm here. I'm here for y'all. So, day 3 of the shutdown. Just a quick round robin thoughts and impressions of what does this mean to business and also maybe personally to you. It does mean anything? Let me who wants to go? Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Yeah.
It's politics as usual. This has happened every X years. It will continue to happen because of the anchorness of politics. Yeah. But in the greater scheme of things, debt and all that, it is a real thing. We can't keep doing this for 20 years, 50 years. But this time, it's just politics as usual. If I may, Leland.
Yeah, I agree. It's an interesting point in which to do it because it's a continuing resolution. What they're voting on is exactly what was passed in the Biden administration, almost word for word, maybe some slight changes, but it's the Democrats are like, well, no, we want to make our stand in order to be able to change all of the stuff that the Republicans just put in and voted on. We don't want that. So we're going to stand our ground here because we want that gone. And so now it's, again, a game of chicken. From what I'm seeing, Democrats aren't really doing too well. It's not looking good for them, and Republicans are loving it. So we'll see who's going to chicken out first. I don't hold out too much hope for the Democrats, but we'll see. You never know. Surprises. When it comes to small businesses, unless you're directly affected by the government and you're getting paid by them, I don't see it really affecting the plumbers, the electricians. It may slow down getting inspections and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think it's going to affect many small business owners. Shashi.
Thanks, Leland. I think the action in DC, and in fact, I have Chef Vinod on Instagram listening. He's a small business owner, restaurant. A lot of restaurants in DC have been affected, not only just the shutdown, but even before. And it's supposed to be like DC Restaurant Week. So that definitely changes. Plus, I think people in the local area spend less. Maryland, where I live, actually has seen a lot of federal jobs go away. I mean, politics aside, I wish the country hadn't come to this stage where, people just can't agree over a meal and then decide what's good for the country. And they need to have a lot of friction between both the parties. So hopefully good days are ahead. But right now, I think it's not as good for small businesses here.
Who you tagging?
Hey, Ramon. My friend Ramon is on Instagram.
Yeah, I will say, Shashi, I thought you were like just pretending and doing delusions in your head. So I went there to verify and fact check if you're really streaming. Shashi, I owe you a big apology. You're streaming to no one, but you're streaming. So awesome. Love it.
Ramon, I tag you. Oh, you already went.
Yeah,
sorry, Monique.
You guys are funny. Okay. So as stated before, the government shutdown, it happens every so often. I think in the lens of major corporations, it doesn't really affect them too much, but I do believe that it affects small businesses. And what I mean by that is as a result of federal contracts freezing, loan approvals drops, and even foot traffic, right, in areas near government hubs where there are small businesses, whether it's a restaurant or whatever it is. it's, and as every day drags on, cash flow is dropping for small businesses. So I think as much as we are saying, oh, it's not going to be affected, I think small businesses, if anything, are the ones or the people who get affected the most by it. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts. Oh, John, right?
Yes.
Well, you had a choice of even or John.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, John, you're next.
All right. The last time the government shut down, it cost the U.S. billions of dollars, and that was never recouped. So the idea that there is no impact is probably a little far. But there will be, and there is. And it's unfortunate, but it just doesn't look like there's a whole lot of running room right now. And it looks like we're probably going to be here for a minute. And the longer it goes, the more it costs. And even up.
I don't know what I'm going to say that hasn't been said. I know. Why don't I talk about some of the little content creators are having a blast with this administration. They are making content day in, day out. They got comments, they got opinions, they're selling stuff, they're selling pissed off pens, they're selling t-shirts. And I think those are about the only folks right now who are excited about the shutdown.
Yeah, I got a client that does t-shirts, and she's doing,
What's the t-shirt she's doing that you think is gonna like catch on?
They're all catching on. They're all catching on.
Okay.
Every week she's got a new one.
Can I get a name of the one, our friend Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah, God ain't petty, but I am. I mean, her she probably owes her whole multi-million-dollar business to Donald Trump. The moment he came in office, hockey stick, metaphorically. So, God ain't petty, but I am.
All right. Okay. Nobody mentioned the fact that for this particular shutdown, we have a president in office who's basically threatening to mass fire thousands of government employees, not just lay it off or wait till that gets back and then they get back pay. He is literally threatening it, and he said it's imminent. Some of the guy that ran Project 2025 is apparently the one who's saying what's going to get cut, how many people are going to get cut, how many programs that were already in the budget are going to get cut. I don't recall that ever being part of. Well, Reagan did that, but that was a strike just for the air control folks. That wasn't a government shutdown. But I believe
we have a comment from D.
I believe this is the first time we have somebody threatening to completely fire thousands of government employees. So just thought I'd put that out there. Let's see what D has to say. First of all, thanks for joining us, D. We always enjoy this kind of stuff. So D says, when the government shuts down, government contractors are impacted and they can't bill for their services that they provide to the agency that have a contract with. So not only that, they're not going to get that money back. I think somebody said they're not going to get that money back. And the other thing, I thought with all you guys that travel so much, there's going to be some serious impact with the travel situation. I'm not looking forward to this at all, because although the TSA folks still are working, they have to come in and they ain't getting a paycheck. And they're already kind of rough to deal with when they are getting paid. You want to deal with some TSA folks who ain't getting paid? I'm not looking forward to that. And I got a flight coming up on Monday. So
that's why I went out and I got TSA pre-check. I want to be at the front of the line.
I do have TSA pre-check, but still.
I did have my first pat down, Leland Brent, my first full pat down, kind of like it felt like when I was back in jail in Rikers, but I wasn't, but a full pat down by TSA. Like, it was kind of invasive, like went in all the places. He was
not kind of. It is. I've seen it happen to people. I've seen. I've never, but I've seen it. It is invasive. Don't sugarcoat it. It's very invasive.
Meaning, it was the prison movies you see. It wasn't quite that. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, to your point, Monique. I won't go into detail, but y'all can imagine. He was very thorough.
Just imagine how thorough he's going to be when he ain't getting paid. He
That's
ain't
my
going
point.
to be too gentle. I'll tell you that much. I don't think so. Anyway, all right. So, quick round robin. How long do you think this is going to last before the government gets back to governing?
12 days. 12 days or less. By next Friday, it'll be over.
That's right. Okay.
Give or take.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say top 2 weeks. It's like I said, it's not looking good for one side, and that one side, they want to hold their stance, but it's it's not making them look good. So if it's not good for them, they're just gonna move on.
Okay.
I'm not answering your question.
Anybody think it's going to go longer than 2 weeks?
I think so. Brent, I'm not answering this question directly, but I actually have started listening to different media, which is unfortunate, right? You just expect to listen to one media station and get the story. But the stories are so drastically different between one side and the other side. So I think it's going to be very difficult for people to decide like who's telling the truth. So that is going to play into how long this lasts, because both sides are going to be telling their story very differently.
That's a good point, Shashi. Really, that is so true. Stark contrast.
I'm going to say 30 days. I'm going to be extreme and say 30 days. I think I looked it up. I think the longest one was back in 2018, if you guys can recall.
Was that like
in
13
December.
days?
No, it was like 34 days.
34 days?
34 days, yeah.
Something like that. So I'm going to say 30 days. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm like you, Monique. I saw that I think the number was like 35, like you said, back in 2018. I have no idea, nor am I an expert in that. One thing I can tell you is no one will win.
We're all losers.
It would be, I'm like okay with so many things. Like I would be okay with it if what came out of it was something that was a win, right? I just don't see a win for anyone.
And I think even
Donald Trump always wins.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
even when he
Yeah.
loses, he wins.
And I think what's frustrating about this issue, running a government, it's so big. None of us have anything to do with it. None of us can. It's kind of like sad in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's just so many problems, so much angst, so much politics, so much. The problem's so big. To your point, even I just wish we could. Do we need to feed people? Do people need jobs? Nobody wants to be high tax. Nobody wants to be lower tax. We can't bring the whole world in, and yet we don't want to be mean to people who need to come in. Let's solve for it. But no, it's not that simple.
There's a business lesson there, though, right? I feel like everything we're experiencing, and first and foremost, I always say this, a government is not a business. I know people like to make comparisons between running a government, like running a business, but the problem is that a for-profit business has one goal, and that is profit. The goal of a government is to protect its citizenry and to take care of its citizenry, like in whatever way they decide. But one thing that every organization shares is having like a goal and working towards that goal, having a singular goal. So I think small businesses could learn a lot about what not to do, right? You have a mission, you have a goal, you have a vision for the transformation that you provide for your customers. And I think if you hold true to that, the government doesn't seem to know how to do that. Right?
Well, one of the biggest differences between not only just small businesses, but large businesses and well, probably to a lesser extent, large businesses and individuals. We can never get $33 trillion in debt. We would be way out of business before we could ever get that. But look where we're sitting right now. I mean, this is where our government is, and everything that gets done seems to jump that number up. So
one thing I wanted to share with you all is I was just telling my mom in India that the government shut down. Her first question was like, how will people get paid? I said, like, they might ultimately get paid, but it'll take whatever time the shutdown lasts. So now the thing, which I think, Ivana, you said very often is, like, always have cash flow that you can have like 2 to 3 months just in case something happens. Now, what happens is when you start building cash flow, the only way to do it is to reduce your expenses. Guess which expenses you're going to stop spending on, right? Like anything that's not directly related to food, housing, and probably clothing. So it will affect people even if it is in an indirect way.
Well, food, clothing, and Netflix. So yeah, I guess and Wi-Fi, internet access. I think those are the 4 or 5 main human needs: food,
Yes.
shelter, internet access, and Netflix. There you go. All right. So I all right. So you're gonna have to excuse me on the appearance of this, but I do have a really interesting kind of trivia question. Just don't take offense to what is on the slide because it really wasn't meant for y'all, but I think it fits. Okay. I saw this really interesting stat, and I didn't even get to use it on Stump the Godfather, so I really wanted to use it. All right. So, how much CapEx spending, combined Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft spending on basically AI infrastructure? How much did the combined spending of these 4 companies come to last quarter, which was, I think, the second quarter of 2025? It's in the billions, so I'll give you that as a clue. So take a billions.
I was wrong already.
Oh, yeah, I was saying definitely billions.
$572 billion.
Yeah, I was thinking hundreds. I'm gonna say 3. No, I was thinking actually like a trillion. So I'm gonna go like 800 billion.
So we got 800 billion, and what was yours, Leland?
572 billion.
Oh, 572. Okay.
572. Okay. So we got 800. We got 572 billion. How much?
What'd you say, Monique? Did you say anything?
I'll say 725 billion.
Did you say billion or million?
Billion with a B.
Because you told us at least.
That's right. 725, 572, and 800 billion spent last quarter. Okay.
I think the right
100 is my answer.
Go ahead.
Did you say 100?
Yeah.
So all right, Shashi's in at 100.
Oh, if Shashi said 100,
yeah, 100 billion.
Monique said 40 trillion. I'd say I go with 279 billion.
279 billion. All right, and that leaves bringing up the rear.
325.
Huh? What? 325?
Yeah, that'll work. 325.
Come on, community.
All right, this is really If there's anybody, D, if you want to throw a number in before I get the thing, put it in the comments there. So we're going all the way from 100 to 800 billion with plenty of stops in between. That's a lot of money just for one quarter, huh? Okay. All right, look at Pierre. Hey, Pierre, good to see you, man. 656 billion.
Yeah, he Googled it. Yeah.
I love like Pierre and Leland. They get the 572, the 656. These weird kind of numbers. All right. The actual number of CapEx spent combined by Microsoft, Amazon, Meta. I just say Facebook. I'm sorry. I know it means more than that, but that's always going to be Facebook. And Google, same thing. I mean, I know it's Alphabet, but it's Google for us. All right. All 4 combined last quarter to spend. I need a drum roll. Thank you, sir. 88 billion. Shashi was the closest, but we're talking one quarter, not like all year long. We're just a quarter. So like 88 billion this quarter, 88 billion next quarter. Now all of that adds up to like 300 and some odd billion, but just this quarter, 88 billion, which is an astounding amount of money when you think about it.
It is, but I think, Brent, when you give these, keep in mind, Brent, we don't have context, Brent. I mean, like, we're just, we don't know, we don't have the context, Brent. It's,
You're asking us things that we know nothing about.
Yeah. Or we could guess better if you would have said, they spent 1 billion, whatever, but good job, Brent. Thank you. But it's just, we didn't have context. We're just spitballing.
So are you surprised that it's that, I dare to say that low, or?
No. Clearly. I think these things are, I just see data and infrastructure and AI modeling and people, and to me that lands as insanely expensive. These are highly skilled people that do all the things that you're talking about, and the components are expensive, and I don't know, that's why my number was so, I honestly thought it was going to be like $1 trillion. I did. I just think it's expensive, so that's just me.
All right.
Explain my reasoning, right?
I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense. So let me just give you a quick follow-up. Now, that's 88 billion. NVIDIA just reported $46 billion in their last quarterly revenue stream. So out of that 46 billion they made in revenue, how much do you think those same companies made up of that 46 billion of NVIDIA's revenue?
Oh, 80.
It can't be, because it can't be. I said NVIDIA made 46 billion in revenue.
No, I'm saying 80% of that.
Oh, 80%.
Comprise 80%
okay.
Of revenue.
80%. Okay, all right. Thank you for qualifying that, because I was about to get on that.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying 80%. Okay.
Well, you said NVIDIA did NVIDIA did 46
NVIDIA did 46 billion.
Okay, I'll do it. 46, and then plus, let's say 46 times 80.
36.8 billion.
Yeah, 36.8.
All right, so even is saying 36.8 billion. Right.
37.
You want to round up to 37. All right. Who else?
You're saying these 4 companies combined, correct?
Yep, just these 4. What percentage or what amount of money did these 4 companies spend to make NVIDIA's 46 total billion in quarterly revenue? How much of that came from these guys?
From them alone. I see.
Yeah.
How much
I'll sit at 28 million or 28 billion.
28 billion. All right. So even is in for 37, Leland's in for 28 billion.
Yeah, I'll go for I think they went with a 25%, about a quarter, give or take. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in for about 10, 12 billion. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I say 30%.
30%. Okay. So you're in for about 28 billion. All right.
I'll go with 40 billion.
40 billion. All right. And Pierre is going for 25 billion. So I think that just leaves Monique.
$15 billion.
15 billion. All right. So we're all in. The actual number is 41 billion, which once again,
Shashi. Oh my gosh.
Okay. You know what I'm basing it on? Like all the other players just talk about like 500 million, 1 billion. Only these big players talk about double-digit investments.
And let's face it, Brent, Shashi is one of your brethren. Y'all look at, analyze all this stuff. Monique's there with 20 cameras around her, getting paid too much money with clients. Even is raking it in with Pinterest stuff. John's doing his whole AI, trying to, all the stuff he's doing. Leland's coding. So y'all see this stuff every day.
All right. Congrats to Shashi for right.
Brent, can I make one suggestion?
Say that again, Shashi.
Can I make one suggestion? Like any number, tie it to the world's richest person. Right now, it's Larry Ellison, 350 billion, right?
And it's only
so anything that companies spend has got to be comparable to that, in my opinion.
I don't know why you're helping them out, Shashi, because you're usually winning these things. But okay, you can help them out if you want to.
Before.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a doggone bit of difference here, but okay.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that only 4 companies make up that much of the revenue for one company, which is driving the whole AI revolution,
No.
basically. You're not.
They deservedly have an oversized. You think about it, Amazon, everybody in the world uses it. Microsoft, every business in the world uses it. Google, everybody in the world uses it. So it makes sense,
I'm
They're the
surprised
only
it's not
ones
more.
building it.
Yeah.
They're the only ones building it, people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
obviously.
Yeah.
Netflix is too
You just
small in
named the 4
comparison.
people that are building it.
Yep.
Actually, there's those are 4. There's others. You just mentioned Oracle. Oracle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. But they have their own
enterprise
thing that they are
AI.
building up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but still, I'm just saying, when it comes to who's leading
Well,
the
NVIDIA is
AI
leading everybody.
investment, it is those 4.
Right.
Now, yes, we know Zoho made one, somebody else made one, somebody else made one. But when we talk about AI and who's investing, it's those 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to my buddy Jeff Bezos. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to do a screenshot of this, so I'll just read what he said recently about where we are with AI. Wow, I see. I just got a breaking notification. The Dow's up 500 points now. Something about lessening shutdown fears. Anyway, Jeff Bezos says AI is an industrial bubble, but society will get gigantic benefits from the tech. AI is an industrial bubble, but society will get gigantic benefits from the tech. It's almost like he's saying all these businesses are going to spend a ton of money and they ain't going to get their return on investment, but society might be better off because of the stuff that gets done. I'll just trickle that down to not only will these big companies who are spending all this money and time and effort, that might be a bubble for them. I'm going to say you can include small businesses in that because of all the crazy, ridiculous excitement that everybody's going on for all this. We can do all this video stuff and we can create all these images, but they ain't getting any ROI from that right now. And they might not get the kind of ROI from it that they hope because all of the talk and all of the flash and dash that's going on. And Jeff Bezos is saying, you know what? You businesses, you might not get what you think you're going to get, but society might get better. So what's your thoughts? Is that a good thing? Is that an okay thing? Society gets better, but business,
I think you're
not.
reading into it.
I might be. Well, tell me what you read into that. That'd be great.
Well, I mean, I think he's 100% right.
Okay.
But I mean, it's like he lived through the first big bubble, which was the internet.
Yeah, he was a big. Yeah, that was true.
Exactly, and it blew up, and we got huge benefit from it. I wouldn't say that the first people that invested, a lot of them did blow up with it, but I don't see that as I don't see him saying small business, watch out.
No, I didn't say he said that. I was extrapolating that. But
yeah, that's what I said you're reading into.
But to your point, how many companies that were there back in the beginning are still with us today? Like, remember like books.com and pets.com and almost anything.com. And where are they today?
Gone.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's happening. Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of mania, and it's not just at the high levels. They have the money. These are the picks and shovels. The guys that are making the money off of this right now are, and John will know where I'm going with this. Back to 1849, the gold rush.
When he was born.
Because you were there waiting for me to get there. And so people found out there was gold in them. Here's in California. And they picked up everything they had and they moved to California because of all the hype about all the gold they were going to get and get rich. And good old Levi Strauss was selling them all sorts of jeans, and the people were selling them shovels and picks. And those people made a killing. But the tin pans, like a fraction of those folks actually made anything close to what they invested in getting out there and putting all that time and effort into digging holes, and came up with nothing. But Levi Strauss is still here. Well, at least his company is. So are we about to repeat? Are we about to see like the digital version of this? Because I look at all the folks that when Sora came out, people making all crazy videos.
Sora too,
which are
yeah.
interesting, which is interesting. But in the end, do they take that and actually create some ROI and not just some fun in games? I don't know. And I think that's the biggest question. And I have a strong feeling that we may be repeating what happened. The tech comes out, people get excited, and then try to find some ROI and don't find it. And then they get turned off, and then something else comes on, and then they get excited because of the possibilities, and then they don't make it. And is this just another one? But this is just a huger, more scaled up tin pan situation?
Well, I think a few things. I think one, when you look at search, Google has been around for, don't remember, what is it, 30 years? Forever in our lifetime. And it's dominating search slowly but surely. There are many other brands that have tried to do search. They're gone today. We don't know where they are. Alta Vista, DuckDuck, nobody, it's a fractional player. So I think when you look at AI, will ChatGPT, OpenAI, will it be around for the next 30 years and be a dominant force years from now, or not? So, I mean, my point is, I think the gold rush is a great example. Electricity, I don't know the history of it, but I'm sure that there were people who took advantage of electricity, did what they could electricity, lost a lot of money with it, but we still have it today, and it's a public benefit. So
Tesla versus Edison. Check out the current wars. That was really good.
Yeah, and I do think, Shashi, just a side note, you putting comments from IG in here, like it just doesn't. It doesn't make any. I don't know. Robert Collins, I wouldn't take it. It's okay. Shashi, we'll talk offline. It's just
that might be a StreamYard thing.
Oh, I see. No, I just don't like him trying to show up that he has followers on IG and stuff when he doesn't. It's just Go ahead. Back to practicality. Brent, go ahead.
My stream is full of somebody who starts at 7 a.m. creating videos.
There we go. The rundown with Ramon. No, but Brent, does that make sense? I think that Jeff was right. AI is not going back into the bottle. It is not going bankrupt. AI, it is not going anywhere. Somebody's footing the bill for it. Somebody's losing money from it. And who can last the longest? That's just it.
Pierre says the ROI will come after people explore the programming. I totally agree with them on that. Programming is where it's at. Funny images, not get you a lot of people looking and doing all that. But it's the programming, the creation of processes and procedures and programs. I think when you get to that level, then you stand a chance. So I agree with you, Pierre, on that one. There is always a delay in refining tech for business metrics. He should know because he's the king of analytics.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Monique.
But this kind of brings a question in my mind, Brent. You keep mentioning like funny videos and images. Is that what the general consensus is to people when it comes to AI? How can I make these great videos and images?
Well, I would say this, and maybe I'm over exaggerating or over positioning things, but it seems to me the things that get people hyped and most excited about AI are these visuals and these videos. And it's not like Pierre was saying, the actual money is actually in getting these things to program and make procedures and applications, and they do things. Whereas most people seem to get very excited about being able to create videos where you're standing in front of like I don't know, the Grand Canyon and speaking to all the masses. I think those are really cool and I think they're really interesting. But where do you get the ROI from it? I mean, that's the only issue I have. People seem to get so interested and intrigued by the imageries that you can create, and it's really cool stuff. I'm not knocking it, but I think the dollars are not specifically in that. Maybe they can help a little bit, but the dollars are in what Pierre is talking about, where you're actually creating things that do stuff. I don't see a lot of people getting to that level.
I don't know. I don't know if this is related. Sorry, Monique. I don't know if this is related or not. Shashi and I had a conversation on LinkedIn. I did a post this week where I was thinking about all these job numbers and people talking about AI. And I think we had something going on in the chat and so on and so forth. And to your hype situation, everyone's like, oh, we're going to get rid of entry-level jobs and so on and so forth. And I think from a business perspective, people are excited about the possibilities of what AI could do, whether it's in programming, whether it's in some other stuff, But I'm going to say something that a lot of people are going to disagree with here. I think that they're using AI in the wrong place. I think AI is actually pretty good at strategy. Let's replace the CEOs with AI. But let me just tell you one thing you do not want to replace. As someone who has started in corporate at the very bottom, right? The first thing they have you do when you start in corporate, at least back in the day, is you sit and you crunch numbers. This was my job for like 3 years to run reports and crunch numbers and segment and understand how customers were using our product. This is like the heart of a company. That data had better be right. And I can tell you, I keep saying this, I've been on this long ass project. That is the stupidest, most entry level project you can imagine. Okay. And AI is doing a terrible job. Does it help? Yes, it does. Is it correct? No, it's not. And if I am spot checking, then I might as well just be doing it. And I think we're missing this whole thing of entry level. I've just decided, I'm like, people who are making these statements about AI taking over the world or AI replacing entry level have either never done that kind of work that these entry level people are doing that is so critical and so important, or it's been decades since they've done it. And so I'm like, the last place I'd want to put AI is in messing around with data, right? Because if you don't have a handle on that data, you're not going to know whether it's correct or incorrect. And I can tell you, anyone who's worked with spreadsheets, it doesn't take much to mess it up. You know, Shashi, go ahead. You had some interesting points. Go ahead.
So I agree with your point, except I think OpenAI is actually a marketing company. Before they started opening up AI to the consumer, AI was good at analysis and predicting. And I'm not talking about taking a spreadsheet, putting it into ChatGPT. I'm talking about actually having a data science team and very narrowly. So most of the companies now that I talk to are not the small businesses. They talk about trust deficit, meaning how accurate answers can we get from data? And that is by narrow models, right? Which is only talking to your data, and they'll do it much faster. Now, I've been hearing conversations about AI slop, which is exactly what I posted in our chat, where I created a video which said, Shashi is the best. It was a typo. I meant Ramon is the best, right? But
no,
is it going to help me?
You're right. You're the best, Shashi. It's
but the amount of people who watch reels on Facebook. So that part of consumer AI is do whatever you want, entertainment, Hollywood, follow that, make it for entertainment. Small businesses should focus on AI can solve problems that they thought was not possible. And it's a tool, just like you would use any other tool. And use very specific tools. Don't go put it into ChatGPT and get an answer that you have to spend more time trying to make it more accurate.
You know, here's the thing, guys. AI is sort of like a savant. AI is like Rain Man. It can do amazing things, but then at the same time, it can't take care of itself. I mean, so you have to understand that the limitations of what LLMs, large language models, AI can do versus Excel, which is AI. That's the same thing, but they do different things. And you have to have the right application for the right outcome. You know, you can't just run numbers. It would look, here's the funny thing is that people don't know this maybe, but up until about a year ago, you couldn't ask an LLM how many R's are in the word strawberry and it would get it right. It would get it wrong. It would say there's 2 R's, you know, instead of 3. That's up to a year ago. They had to code it in to make sure it reads in the right way. This is why AI does text wrong when it does imagery for text, because it's not really spelling, because it has no problem with spelling, right? But it has problems putting images to letters and then putting them together and making a word that's visual. It's a whole different kind of level. So my point is, you have to understand what version of AI is best for the use case. So if it's a spreadsheet you're doing,
Right.
you're better off using AI to write the code for the cell
The formula,
versus,
yeah.
hey, write the formula versus figure out what
And
this
the
column
point I'm
is.
trying to make,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, is that you have just made my exact point, right? We keep saying that we are in the bubble. The people in this group know a heck of a lot more, like you've just demonstrated here, about what to use when. And the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of people don't. And especially in the world of, I'm not talking about companies that can afford to do a lot of things. I am talking about like the 80% of regular people, right, who are doing jobs and doing work or have a business or are hiring someone. I think we have a warped sense, to your point, Brent, that's over enthusiasm about what's possible. Is it a social good? I absolutely believe it's a social good, right? In the same way, maybe the billionaires in the past built Grand Central Station and they built beautiful buildings that were for a common good. We don't have that anymore, but maybe what we have is that they are investing in this other kind of common good.
But for Grand Central, I mean, when you say billionaires made that, even I hear you, but that was I don't know the history. I'm just
I don't know. Maybe I'm just I don't know. But didn't somebody?
I'm just pontificating. It was a business venture. Like, there are some things that are public good, but it is a business venture. But going back to AI, I just want to just push a bit. Even I get your point, and you've said it more than once, kind of to be careful with AI. And I know you're not poo-hooing it. I know you're not, but you're the more, just to put you a character here, you're the more be careful. I can't do it. But I think listening to what John, I think John has a point he's making. What's the tool we're doing? Me and my wife were in California, as y'all know, for 2 months. Daughter gave a baby a few weeks ago, had a baby. But point is that we gave a marriage seminar in our church. Now, my wife is AI newbie, doesn't know jack about AI, except I showed her how she could take her Etsy comments, and she was like, wow, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, no, there's no let's. You get on it and do it yourself. So point is, our pastor ran our workshop through AI. She was wow at the Google Notebook pod. She was like, oh. And so she's still not touching it. She feeds him her handwritten notes, feeds him her little Google Docs. He turns back. So I'm just saying things like that, even to your point, but that's the power at a junior level of, I think AI is a game changer. Maybe it's not good for perfect data, but man, it's for the right use.
We're talking about ROI.
Perfect data. First of all, AI.
There is no perfect data.
Right.
Well, but
I said maybe it's not perfect data. I said,
but that's what the biggest problem with AI is not having accurate, perfect data where it needs it, because that's AI's the only good AI does is if it really has as clean and full data to actually do the compute on. Most of the stuff, it doesn't have that kind of a lot of, and maybe I'll try to stay at the SMB level, but a lot of enterprises have terrible data, and they think, oh well, AI is just going to clean the data. No, it's not. It doesn't do that. It should be able to. You would hope that they would start using AI to help with the data, but it runs on the data, and a lot of that enterprise data is crap. And even the small business people, it's crap too.
Well, I mean, garbage in, garbage out, bro.
But what happens with AI is it's not only crap, it accelerates the crappiness, and it scales up the crappiness if you have crappy data that you're sending in the AI, because that's what AI does. It scales and accelerates everything. So if you got bad data and you're using AI on top of it, you should expect bad, catastrophic outcomes could happen.
And maybe it'll be worth it to them. You know what this just reminded me of too? Like those horrible phone menu things, right? They cut an incredible amount of cost out of a business's system to use an automated phone service or whatever, right? Nobody likes it. A lot of them are bad, and yet we sort of get used to it. And I'm sort of wondering, are we going to get used to this just because it's going to cut so much cost out of the system?
Well, and we saw that with like Salesforce, I think it was. They cut their support staff by like a third, or by 1/3 or something like that.
And what made it even worse is when Benioff said, he kind of bragged about it, and he said, "Well, I was able to cut, I think it was 9,000 it just sounded awful." But
Yeah,
go ahead.
It was cool. The way that, from what I saw, he said that basically there was a lot of people sitting around because the AI took a lot of the customer, a lot of the easy, no problem customers, handled them. They were happy. They went on their way. And so he had a lot of his staff that he had hired before AI. They're just sitting around bored. And so he cut them. He was a bit callous in the way that he said it, but it's a business decision to where it's just like, well, I got a lot of employees that are just sitting around. I'll just reduce headcount. And I think ultimately that's kind of where AI is going to be going. It may not completely take all of the jobs, but it's going to take some of the jobs. I've seen stats about like law statistics, lawyers getting out, and the number of junior lawyers that are being hired is going down drastically because you could just have a senior law employee be able to have AI do all the research that the junior law associate did. And so I kind of see that direction when it comes to entertainment. And yeah, we're making all of these silly videos and stuff like that. I think that there's going to be an ultimate end goal with that, and that is, and we're starting to see it, movies that are written completely by AI. There's one that's come out. It was even a couple months ago or a year ago or something like that. And now we have AI actors and actresses. And there's an AI actress who has starred in a movie, and
Tilly Norwood.
Yeah. There's talks about having her signed onto an agency, and now you have the real actors like, oh, we're going to blacklist that agency if they sign it. Whoever signs that AI actress, we're going to blacklist it. And I mean, I it was like a year ago I saw software where start to finish they're able to make a complete South Park episode with the script, with the characters, with the voices, start to finish AI, and then they could go into scenes and use AI prompts to change it, and it'll change the whole story. And it's like, I could see that being the end goal, with your grandma putting funny little wigs on her pictures or something like that. My take on
you had me until the grandmother in wigs. I was with you.
I was wondering, was it just me?
Yeah. No, you lost me there.
I'm just thinking of like funny things that people do on Facebook with AI.
Okay.
I actually want to share something from a conference a couple of weeks back. Again, just to preface this, is we are fascinated by generative AI, which I think is probably, in my opinion, the most useless way of using AI, other than for training videos, right? But the bubble, what we're talking about, this was, I think, a McKinsey study. A lot of companies invested, the number one business function that they invested generative AI in is marketing and sales. The highest number of failed AI projects that did not make any change to business value was marketing and sales. So that's one of the reasons why companies are pulling back, because they say, hey, you can create nice videos, you can create great emails. Tell me, how did it change your business? Right? So that wasn't there. So now I think people are a little bit more thoughtful. I think our advice to small businesses should be, forget generative AI, figure out all the irritating problems that you have in your business today and let AI do it. And it might be better at it, like scanning, like John keeps saying, scanning PDFs and trying to get answers from that. I think that's a good use case, whereas you were probably retyping it before, right?
I couldn't agree more with that, because I think we're all kind of saying the same thing here in terms of the emphasis on AI has been on generative and sales and marketing stuff. And I don't know if we think about our customers and consumers, and even ourselves as a consumer. Have you really bought anything because you saw a purple, elephant carrying daisies, or you see people. I don't want to get too specific.
Well, I mean, here's the thing:
Go ahead.
video is not ready for prime time.
It's not
Video
just
is
video.
very expensive. Well, image generation
Yeah.
with movement. Okay, I mean, yes, there's a lot of stuff that's just photographic images. I mean, back in the day, you used to have to go and look up something in a database for an image. Now you can just generate it. People are using that all the time in business. I don't know why you think that's not relevant, especially in like product-based businesses.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's totally not relevant. I would say it's being overused. I would say it's being overemphasized. Like people are using images that they might like, and because it's so easy to create, they'll overuse it. But then they don't really measure the impact of that stuff. It's just, oh, this is cool. Oh, I can do 1,000 of these things in a blink. Oh, that's great. They don't measure ROI against, well, what did that actually bring in? And I think that's the missing part of this, particularly from a small business side. It's
so you cannot do social media without images.
I'm not saying they aren't, but I'm saying
right. But I'm saying for small businesses to be able to create social content was so time consuming and expensive.
And all I'm saying is because they drop the complexity and the cost does not mean that you're going to get better ROI or you're going to get more revenue from
Brent, just by the fact that you don't have to hire that agency or you can rely on less.
Saving all kind of money.
Okay.
I couldn't even go to there's go-to-market strategies that were not able to be done.
Correct.
That people are doing right now.
I agree.
I agree.
Let me say this. Yeah, you're lowering the cost of doing this. You're lowering the amount of time you need to do this. Are you measurably? Are you actually getting enough revenue jump from that? Or is
people didn't even have a business today are doing 6 and 7 figures.
Right. You're paying $30 a month, Brent, for ChatGPT. You do all that stuff you did, and even maybe you have an agency or not, but for the ROI is right there just by the fact that you're doing more than you ever could with a touch of a button.
But you're actually paying agencies to do that, right? It's not because the agencies may be using this stuff to do things a lot faster.
Brent. No, I'm saying you couldn't do it before even. You're doing your plan via AI, and you either couldn't do it before, it took you slower before, now you can do more in less time.
I'm sure you can, but I'm saying the larger percentage of folks who are not in this bubble, who are looking at this stuff from what they see and what they hear, are not getting the nitty-gritty. They're getting the highlights. And because they're getting the highlights, they get excited about it, and then their expectations grow. And then 6 months later, where's the money?
That's a nuanced view.
Yeah, you're right. It's a nuanced view.
Monique said she agrees with me and John. Monique said she agrees with us. So, I mean, obviously.
I'll tell you.
But you guys are in the bubble. You eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff.
The gap is closing. I think the gap is closing.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, it is.
But the gap is still big. It might be closed, but it's still pretty big.
Yeah. I would say it's still pretty big. It's closing.
There's a lot
of
hype.
big.
There's a lot of hype. I get that.
And there's a lot of hypesters out there that are just, if they would just let it just talk real to people.
Yeah.
I hate that. I mean, but there's so many people, they learn how to spell AI one week and next week I'm here to teach you how to do AI.
Brent, stop talking about me, Brent. I don't do it like that, Brent. I don't do it like that.
Thank you.
Hey, Brent.
I don't know why you'd be talking about you.
Hey, Brent, personal experience, right?
Sure.
Like, I started hosting the Talking Headless show once a month.
Which is a great show, by the way. I like that show. It's a good show.
Right. But here's my problem. I am really bad at graphics. And now all the so-called experts told me use AI. My God, the first time I used AI, the person whose photo it was said, "What did you do with my photo?" The second time, it made a mistake, and I spent 1 hour trying to get it to correct the mistake. So ultimately, I got Canva. Did it make my graphic skills better? No. I mean, I think, Brent, I'm going to send you your photograph because yesterday Paul Greenberg said, Shashi, I think you're not very good at graphics. I said, hey, I used AI, I used a nice tool. Still, I'm not getting it right. I think that will be the problem with every business is like, it's not as perfect. So it's good for fun things, but if you want it very narrowly, you need to go get like Adobe or
No,
else
Shashi, no, you don't. You need to just know how to use the tool, Shashi. Shashi, I'm sorry. I disagree, Shashi. I disagree.
So I think there's room for
I mean,
disagreement. I don't
use
think.
Nano
Yeah,
Banana.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I was
might be
gonna
a
say
better
Nano, but
prompter than me.
which tool did you
Yeah,
use? Because like
it
Nano
becomes-
Banana could help,
I
and
used
other
Nano
tools.
Banana. One of the best tools that gets the spelling right and text right is probably Copilot.
It's finally getting
the
better.
tool is second.
And Ramon is right. You need to know how to prompt. And I'll tell you, like my video that I showed all of you, 2-page prompt. Am I going to have time to
2
write a
pages.
2-page prompt? Probably not.
But Shashi, let me give you another example of that, like your frustration. I tried vibe coding. I had a big challenge, and I still have a challenge. I haven't done nothing with it. But that's because, take a look at Leland, as we're putting ourselves in bucket here. Leland does it all day. He could jump in something like that. I'm sure there was just 1 or 2 things I did wrong, but I know nothing about it. Like, I have zero background. So to the point of the highlights, and even what you were saying, Brent, for me, trying vibe coding or all the stuff that I think Monique has expertise too, I think whoever does it, that's just not, I'm way out of the field. So I didn't even know where to start. So
Let me ask you this,
So
Ramon. Do you even want to do that, or do you want to focus on your core, which is speaking and all that?
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to. I was just playing because I thought I could make like a little ping pong game with vibe coding. I was like, let's see what it's about. But I stopped after a while because I realized I probably need a little bit of expertise to even leverage it. So I stopped.
I think the challenge is going to be for people outside the bubble who have businesses that don't have anything to do with trying to create images and all that kind of stuff. They're the ones that I'm probably even more speaking to, because I think what they only hear the noise, right?
Yes.
And they only see, and what is the noise? Oh, this stuff is great for doing this and doing that, and then you have people saying, well, this will help you make money, like 5x your revenue. That is bullshit. Generally speaking, I hate to say it like that, but it is. There are some people that make some money, and I'm not saying there aren't, but 99.999% are not the folks that are going to use this and just by using this make money. I would like for people to speak to that bigger, larger audience, and for that bigger, larger audience to really hear the real, not just the hype, but the real, so that they have an even perspective about what they should do or how they should approach this. Right now, I don't think that's out there. I think that's missing because all you hear is the hype. Did I just do a mic drop on myself?
Yes, you did.
No, I'm just bored.
I was going to say, Brent, you were very passionate about this.
Yeah, you dropped the mic.
Yeah, but yeah, that was mic drop.
I had to get the passion out because the Rams stuff is still messing with me.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, we are at the top of the hour. Wow, this went fast. We talked a lot of interesting stuff. Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Shashi, go.
Okay. I think one of the things we were talking about infrastructure, and we had a lot of American companies in that. I'm reading more and more. The rest of the world is also going the Chinese company way. They're probably cheaper. The new concept of sovereign cloud, right, which means that your data can't leave that place. So small businesses across the world have to be careful what they choose, because moving from one cloud provider to another is not easy. Ramon?
Yeah, listen, I think it's been great to be here, Brent. Thanks for hosting another great event. Always good to be here on Small Biz Breakdown, reminding you all to secure your brand. I encourage everybody here, go to secureyourbrand.com, secureyourbrand.com, and get my free doohickey guide, probably powered by AI in 99% of it. But check it out, secureyourbrand.com, on behalf of my friends at Bitdefender. And again, thanks for having me here today. Go to secureyourbrand.com. Leland.
No. You got to do your sound effects before you pass it off to Leland.
Oh, you really wanted to hear? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you go to your home at night, click, click. You lock the door of your house. You leave your car, boop, boop, and you lock your car. You need to secure your brand as well. Go to secureyourbrand.com.
Now we may go to Leland.
Following that's great. We've talked a lot about AI, and we've talked about, the possibility of a bubble and the bubble bursting with AI. And so my advice is make sure that you're just utilizing AI within the tech that you're already using. If you're using QuickBooks, use the AI that's involved in QuickBooks. If you're using Google's Work Drive suite, use the AI that comes with that. That's going to be your best bet, because that's what's going to be probably staying around. The little companies that pop up and that may be bought and integrated into another company or just fail, those are a little bit of a risk. You could take the risk if you want, and it's not crucial to your business. But when it comes to your daily, your CRMs, your invoices, your bookkeeping, stay with the companies that you've already got in and learn the AI that they provide. They're coming out constantly. Just stay informed, watch videos, and you'll strive. Ivana.
Okay, so I'm going to say the same thing I always say, but just in a different way. Get your hands dirty with your own customer data. Please, 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 just like Leland said, know who your customers are, know how much they're spending, know what they're buying, know their frequency, understand your email list, understand all those like little numbers. And I encourage you highly to always be looking at that because of what Leland said, so that when you are using AI to do those tedious tasks, that it is correct. I just cannot say that often enough. The simplest things that you think you want to do with AI can be done. And the way you want to do them, you're going to need to know your data. So that's my tip for the week. And that means I'm going to Monique.
All right. I guess my tip here is, as Brent has said, there's a lot of people, especially in the AI world, who will make these big promises, and a lot of people think they'll immediately start making money and things like that. My suggestion to everyone who's watching or listening and who's not familiar with AI is to figure out or get your hands dirty, as mentioned before, with AI as far as how it can be used every day. So say you have an idea, or say you have a process that you want to, that you just can't stand, or you're just trying to see if you can do it easier, go to ChatGPT or whichever, LLM or tool, and see if you can figure out a way to make that happen for you. Through that process, through that experimentation, it allows you to see the strengths, the weaknesses, or the things that you need to think of when you are using AI. I think that's the easiest or the quickest way for anyone to get acclimated in that world, and just, keep moving from there. Mr. John Lawson.
Awesome. Hey guys, AI is not going to replace you unless you stay basic. Stop being basic. That's my advice. All right. Whoever's next. Do we have any left?
That would be me, because we're done.
Okay, then pass to the Brent.
I like that. What did you say? Don't be basic. That's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being basic. That's a mic drop. You get a mic drop today.
I got a mic drop.
You got a mic. Look, that was good. It was 3 words or whatever, and I like short phrases. It's good.
It's got a mic. John, congratulations,
I
buddy.
know.
Look, and I didn't even get prompted by Ramon to say, yeah, that should be a mic drop. I did it on my own.
John, you've made it, man. You have. John, we'll celebrate afterwards, man. Call me, man. We got to go.
Next level, bro. Next level.
Woo.
Yeah, that'll be the last time I ever do that. But anyway, so we're in October. Can you believe we're in October? We're only 2-3 months away from 20.
Fourth quarter's here. It's
unbelievable. Hey, Mr. Lawson, what is Amazon Prime and Black Friday and 30? Can you have any prediction about, is it going to be good? You don't have to give us any numbers. Is it going to be a good holiday season?
It's going to be an excellent holiday season, because everybody loves to escape.
Yep. He's not lying with that.
What are we escaping from?
Shall I say the A word?
We better end the show here, folks. All right. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. As I thoroughly enjoyed most of them, so that's not saying anything new. I really appreciate all the comments and all the stuff. And we will see you next Friday. Because if it's Friday, it's whatever we call this thing. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week.